Yo, so look, this is how I'm feeling today. Today, it's all about motherly trauma. I'm talking about my motherly trauma right now. This isn't gonna be one of those, let me just throw it up in the air, let it resonate with who it resonates with. Nah, this is my testimony and shit. So I was able to discern this pretty rapidly, pretty quickly, instantly, when I chose to want to. I was talking about my homeboy to my homegirl, and I was explaining what I thought his trauma came from and turned into. We're not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about what my trauma turned into and where it came from. So let's start from the beginning. I don't think that my father was my mother's boyfriend or my mother's man, like, ever. So I don't really know too much about my father, and my mother don't know too much about my father. That's not important. Also, my mother has only been in about like 2 relationships since me living in her house, right? So no, I didn't really get to see my mother treated like a queen. I never seen her eyes glow when some guy decided to buy her something for her birthday, and she just, certain things I just never seen. But what I did see, and this is the important part right here, because even that part about the, her boyfriends or whatever, like, even that's not important. The important part is that my mother does have a loyal nigga. And that nigga is Section 8, food stamps, and whatever the fuck else the government will give you. That's her man.
Hello?
For all intents and purposes, for this conversation, I can sit here and say that the government is my stepfather. I don't like the government. And it's not about the government that I don't, it's not really the government that I don't like. Because I'm not mad at a trick nigga. Like, you be a trick nigga, you do your thing, it don't matter. What I'm mad at is the woman who wasn't allowing herself to be a trick. I hate seeing a woman be a hoe. Like, acting like a hoe, moving like a hoe, thinking like a hoe. I don't like that shit. So, when the government steps in and tells you, yo, we'll pay 80% of your rent, but you have to follow these rules. When the government say, we'll give you $600 a month in food stamps, but you have to follow these rules. The only rules that I had to follow were the rules that she was given because of that assistance, because of that boost. Now, because of that boost, because of that assistance, my mother never really grew into a woman. My mother never saw how strong and how capable she is when it comes to building something, raising something, cultivating something, nurturing something, mothering something. So my trauma came from me looking at my mother not applying herself in a worldly sense. I'm not talking about as a kid looking at my mom like, yo, bitch, why you ain't trying? No, that's not what I mean. It's like, once I noticed that I was applying myself and succeeding and doing things, I look back in hindsight and I see just how much she's not doing that. Now, who the fuck am I to sit here and judge her? I'm not gonna answer that question. So what happens with my trauma is now I break mad rules. I be like, fuck rules. You feel me? Rules is what made me and my mom's beef back in the day. And it wasn't even her rules. It was stepdad's rules. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, fuck that. Do what you gotta. Do what you need. Nah, because I need this. I need that. All right, whatever. So, nah, I don't fuck with my moms because she still fuck with stepdad. I don't fuck with stepdad, not because stepdad is fucking with my mother, but because stepdad is fucking with all of our mothers. That's where my fucking trauma is. I don't fuck with stepdad. Stepdad can get knocked the fuck out, and we don't need stepdad. So, I'm what you would call a rebel, a radical, whatever. I don't give a shit about your rules. I don't give a fuck about your society. And I don't give a fuck about your feelings. What I give a fuck about is your spirit. And when I look at you and I see a very, very, very dim lit spirit, it saddens me. That's it. I don't give a fuck about your body. I don't body shame. I don't objectify. I don't work out. It's just certain things I don't do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like whatever, bro. Like, I don't want everlasting life. Like, you got the fountain of youth on two different sides of the fucking pole. You have reincarnation and the veil of forgetfulness. And then you have everlasting life. People choose reincarnation over everlasting life all the time. And people choose everlasting life over reincarnation all the time. My mother's a Christian. And in Christianity, they say none may enter my kingdom unless they've been born again. Which means you come from a place of everlasting life. But in order to enter the kingdom of heaven, you have to be born again. So does that mean you have to be reincarnated? Is that a process that we must go through in order to develop wisdom, game, knowledge, insight, integrity? We gain those things from many, many, many lives. So when they ask you, is one life worth 1,000? What do you say? But that's neither here nor there for now. Right now, we just want to talk about my trauma and why I am the way I am. If you know who I am and you know the way that I am. Maya. I'm saying Maya because Maya is the world. Maya is the illusion. If you take Maya and you spell it backwards, you get AYAM. You get I am. And that's why you niggas is fucked up.